by. To call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the others, you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
He'll drop to throw, and he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Muhammad Wilkerson busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards will get him back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On the crossing route, complete. That's Gordon. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now, a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Josh Gordon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. If they keep doing that in the 4th quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Prescott. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
2nd down, Prescott. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Give him 30 yards there. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Rolling to his right. Oh, Prescott stripped. He can run for it, and he will. And the Eagles have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They start on the ground with Elliott. Able to push his way through. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. The give is to Elliott. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. He was a 2nd-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a 1st-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the 2nd round. They got a steal with this player.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. They go play action here on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something is funny. It's never about them. That's how they they stay so into the moment and into the game.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now let's go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
The offensive line, they're getting it done.
They'll look to throw. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Flushed out right. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
A second down throw for Prescott. And Boyd has it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Prescott on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Prescott yet again. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. And again, it's Prescott. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding, offense.
Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
So now they assess a 3rd and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment. To the air again, Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And they pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it... And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Again, it's Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And Brake, the tight end's got it. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
No. Check. Patriot. Leopard. Over.
On the carry, here's Clement. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That good for 19 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Watch him now, Barney.
Right back to him on first down. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Pass incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
They'll run with Clement. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Back to throw here. And incomplete on the deep ball. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. A little too much air under that one. That could have easily been 6 points.
Yeah, what kind of speed he has is almost impossible, we think, to actually overthrow him. But he did exactly that. I think he probably tried to get it out there maybe just a little bit too quickly.
Here's Abdullah. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll look to throw here on first down. Flush, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. David Irving able to swap it from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. In for the score. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Prescott now. Complete. He finds Bray. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Going for the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. They'll set up a throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Leopard! Leopard! Gun! 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 Gun!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fielded just inside the 30. And a second spin. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now here come the Cowboys. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Gonna throw right side here, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cowboys draw a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Taco Charlton in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Now back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there at 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now Elliott. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. One man in the backfield, that's Elliott on 2nd and goal. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score, and he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. They'll run again with Clement. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
That one looks like he'll throw here. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe